We saw some good, we saw some bad, and we saw some ugly for the Minnesota Vikings and their victory over the Buffalo Bills. I want to talk about it all. I want to talk about why they struggled at times. They did get down, late in that game, partially because of mistakes that their offense and Kirk Cousins made. So I want to talk about those and what went wrong. I also want to talk about what went right and how they were able to eventually win the football game outside of, yes, there was a couple of, breaks for them with the Buffalo Bills beating themselves. There's also some bad calls that went against the Vikings, so you could argue both sides. But let's just talk about, the X's and O's of everything, starting off with this play, which, Buffalo, what are you doing? That's the first thing I think about. If you're seeing this, you see this setup, and you know that the receiver that I've highlighted their route is Justin Jefferson. I think if you're just watching this, if you're a complete novice who doesn't understand anything about football, would still probably sit here and say, that feels not like the best way to defend their best wide receiver, right? I mean, listen, I get that this is what the Buffalo Bills like to do, but this is Dane Jackson. I mean, if it would be one thing if if you have Tre'Davious White healthy and he's doing that, Dane Jackson's been a solid corner this year, but I mean, putting him one-on-one on Jefferson, it's a mistake, and you're going to see why here. Watch Kirk Cousins take the snap, and right here is where Kirk Cousins makes his decision. The better the receiver is, I feel like the quicker the quarterback makes the throw, right? Kirk Cousins sees this. He's throwing to Justin Jefferson. He knows who he has, and that's part of what makes Kirk Cousins a very good quarterback, is the fact that he understands, what he has around him. He understands the chess pieces in front of him and says, hey, if I have Jefferson one-on-one, I'm going to throw it up to him. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, but still, it's the right thing for him to do, so you give credit to the guy who's making the right decision. Kirk Cousins makes this throw. Great throw from Cousins, and obviously a great catch and great route from Jefferson, because that's just what he does. He walks out of bed running great routes. It's stuff like this that's working very well for the Vikings. Jefferson, obviously, fantastic, and that's part of what allows him to, be successful. But of course, this was not a perfect day. I want to talk about some negatives. Let's head over to this play, because again, some people might think I'm a little bit harsh on the Vikings in this game. I don't think I'm going to be. I think I'm going to be harsh on Kirk Cousins. I think Cousins had a rough day. In fact, he had a lower PFF grade in this game than any game he's played this season, including the Philadelphia Eagles game. I mean, he had a tough day at the office. There's no denying it. You win, and he made some plays at the end there, so you feel good about that. But, a play like this, it's going to be designed to get the ball to Osborne. You have one receiver, Justin Jefferson, who gets a lot of gravity, right? A lot of people pay attention to Jefferson, which will bring defensive players closer to him. He's running over the middle, get the safety out of position. Hopefully Osborne, who can kind of follow a little bit later, and with that path cleared out, potentially there will be a throwing lane for Cousins to be able to hit him. Watch how when Cousins takes the snap, okay, well covered by Buffalo. That's something that we saw happen a good chunk. Is Buffalo not fooled by this? Doing a good job here. But there still is a window, right? It's going to be a tougher window, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But if Cousins can time this one perfectly, get it to Osborne, get it over the linebackers, but underneath the safety, there is an opportunity for this to still be a big completion. And Cousins is going to take this chance, and I actually don't hate this decision. Why not? Take a chance. However, this throw is it's a high throw, and it does get intercepted there. So, it's a missed throw. I mean, that's really all it comes down to, is Cousins just missed the throw, which happens. That's football. Even good quarterbacks miss throws. Yes, I do consider Kirk Cousins a good quarterback. Is he an elite quarterback? Of course not. Yeah, no one. Obviously not. But there's things that he can do that are effective. He's got to cut these mistakes out. I mean, this second interception was just a baffling one. He just panicked, I guess. I don't know. It's a zone coverage play. You have KJ Osborne and you have Justin Jefferson running routes, trying to get into gaps in coverage. So who's your number one read on this play? Well, it's KJ Osborne, of course. I'm not kidding. It is. I don't know why, but that's what they liked on this play. It's a good route. It can work. I'm not mad at it. Just a bit surprising they didn't look to Jefferson first. But anyways, Cousins takes a snap, runs the play action. You see that both guys are kind of open. Neither guy is wide open here. It's be a tough throw. To be honest, I don't love this throw throwing to Osborne here. I think that would be too risky. Probably would be an interception. Again, from this angle, if you had a drone and you just could drop it, to Osborne, there would be definitely a window there. The issue is it doesn't quite work out that way. You have to have a throwing lane, which I just don't think Cousins does. Cousins is kind of doing the math in his head and saying, okay, well, I have Justin Jefferson over there. Let me make this throw to Justin Jefferson, but you can't make the throw before seeing if he's open. Cousins kind of just no-looks it over there and just throws it directly to a Bills player. I legitimately think that he saw that Buffalo Bills player and thought that that was Jefferson. I legitimately think that's what happened. That makes the most sense to me, is he got confused when he was going a little bit too quickly. And honestly, like, if that happened, it's almost forgivable. It's just like, okay, mistakes do happen. And also something like this, I did notice that, again, Bills defense still very good, even though they are banged up, still playing well. We saw situations like this one, where Cousins is going to take the snap. He's going to look towards, once again, KJ Osborne, who's becoming someone who I didn't expect to say his name so much when I started making this video, but here we are. There's a situation where he is, just not open. It's just good defense. Cousins tries anyway. It gets knocked away, nearly intercepted as well. So those were kind of the concerns with Cousins and kind of the issues with Cousins, which I think is fair to talk about, even though they won. Like, winning doesn't mean that you can't talk about the negatives, especially when they were down in this game. But to me, this is actually in some ways a positive by the Minnesota Vikings. Cousins played poorly and you still won. That's a great thing. That's actually fantastic. You almost want that to happen to prove that you can beat the team that many people have as Super Bowl favorites. While Cousins has a rough game, I mean, you feel good about that. Granted, you could argue Allen also had a rough game, so maybe it kind of cancels out, but still, you do feel good about it. And going over here, I still thought that there were plenty of positives. Again, we saw some Adam Thielen plays. I only showed the one Justin Jefferson play. Justin Jefferson played great. We saw that. We're aware Justin Jefferson is awesome. Yeah, I've made videos breaking down how good Justin Jefferson is, but then we have stuff like this, which is, it's just a concept designed to get TJ Hawkinson open against zone coverage a little bit. So, this is the advantage of having a TJ Hawkinson, Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson-led offense. 3 options. You can have 2 guys run setup routes and have Jefferson, Jefferson take up space. You have Thielen take up attention, and then hopefully Hawkinson gets open. Cousins is going to take the snap, and it's actually not even going to work incredibly well. Again, good defense by Buffalo. Buffalo covers this stuff nicely. You have a tough window, and this is on a 4th down, too. So if they don't convert here, I don't think they win this football game. That might be a bit of a hot take, but I think it's true. I think they needed this conversion. Cousins makes a great throw, though, to Hawkinson, who was able to make a tough grab, pick up the catch, and pick up more yards after the catch. So good stuff all around by, again, the setup routes were good. It was good defense. Hawkinson does a great job of making the grab, and Cousins does a great job of making the throw. And they were able to do just enough here to where even with those negative plays that they had, they were able to overcome those negative plays due to just enough positives. And again, I think it's fair to say that, well, yes, there was a bit of a luck factor with the fumble at the goal line. Okay, that's certainly, you got a break there, no doubt about it. But I feel like even if that didn't happen and they ended up losing this game, I would still come away feeling pretty positive about this, as they were only a yard away from winning the football game just outright anyways like that. So as a whole, I think this was a good win by the Minnesota Vikings. And, again, they keep winning. I still believe they are a Super Bowl contender because of the way that they're built. They're built the right way. They know what they're doing. I don't know how big their window is, but their window's certainly, they're in it right now, and it's looking pretty good. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.